everybody. It is our Monday night Dream Achievers Zoom call. Glad you're here live or glad you're listening. And if you are listening, hit hashtag replay. We'd love to see that on the team page. Tonight, we're going to talk about really Bravo Bucks, the recognition year that just started. Happy New Year to Tastefully Simple, July 1st. We're going to talk about that. But before we get to that, let's share some victories. Who would like to share? We're all so nice and humble. Anybody have any victories to share, big or small?
My mom needs a few things, so she said she'll might as well have a party.
Well, that's fantastic. Good idea.
Right.
Welcome, Shelley. We're just sharing victories. Is she having an in-person or online or what?
Online.
Okay. In July with the double host rewards?
I'm gonna start her, yes. Yep, starting her tomorrow.
Yeah, well then as long as she closes up by August 7th, she's good for gold. So any other victories? You guys are just so quiet today or tonight.
I do have 2 tasting parties this week.
That's right, Shelley. Thank you for sharing that. That's exciting.
And I hope my Wednesday host still thinks she's going to have 20.
I love it. Did you ask her how many RSVPs she had?
I did. She, like there was like 9 on the Facebook event, but she says, I've got neighbors, I've got work friends. So she says, I'm thinking about 20. It might be more. So we'll see.
Good. Well,
it'll be a fun night.
Yeah, good luck. You will have a blast.
Thank you.
For sure. All right. Well, last call. Okay. Well, then let's move on. Before we go to announcements, we're going to go to product knowledge. And we have the fair and amazing Bree Jennings that's going to share with us a little information on the garden salsa cheese ball, right?
That is right.
Yeah, take it away, girlfriend.
So my sister had recommended, actually, so I stole the idea from her, using the garden salsa cheese ball or any other savory cheese ball that you might have as the sauce, so to speak, on a breakfast pizza. And so I tried it when we had some family spending the night. So I made 2 breakfast pizzas, and garden salsa cheese ball was the sauce on one of them. And then I just put, the eggs, sausage, cheese, peppers, whatever else on it. And it was really good, and they liked it, and even took some leftovers home. So, they actually liked it and they weren't just being polite. So I like using those a lot as something other than just the cheese ball, which they're good that way too. But I've done that. I love using them as a spread on wraps. But the breakfast pizza was a really cool, I thought, new idea and a good way to use it up.
I love it. So I'm wondering, what is the breakfast pizza? Like, what's your crust?
You could do any pizza crust, make it yourself or buy one or whatever. I use that packaged Baboli crust that they sell at the store.
Yep.
So I just use that, and yeah, super easy.
So I've never made breakfast pizza, so just walk us through it really quick, please.
So I just pop the crust in the oven while the oven is heating, and then you're making your eggs and sausage and all that stuff. And then I take the crust out, spread the cheese ball on it, and then put all the toppings on, and then pop it back in the oven for, I don't know, until everything's heated and the cheese is melted, maybe 10 minutes, if that, and you can broil it a little bit if you want. And that's it. And that's the first time I had made one at home myself.
It's called a breakfast pizza.
I
love it. That sounds great.
Yeah, it was good. I'll do it again for sure.
You have a smart sister.
Yeah.
She's a twin, isn't it?
Yes. She thinks just like I do.
There you go. I love it. I love it. Well, that's fantastic. Any questions for her? I love it. I love it. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. I'm going to add that to my repertoire at the cabin. So that's fantastic.
Good idea. It's a crowd
Yeah.
pleaser.
Yeah, it sure sounds like it. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. Well, it looks like Twyla joined us and looks like they're going for a ride. I knew that would turn around. Anyway, okay, let's move on to announcements. So if you raise your hand if you've earned the t-shirt for the month of July with the July sales incentive. Sheila, you've earned it, haven't you? Yeah, you've earned it. Okay, so or maybe you're still working towards it. Did you know that you're supposed to order it? Did you see that? You know, I think we're so making the transition yet from my HQ to TS Central, but go into the library, go to incentives, and then there's like, it talks about the incentive and there's a place to click, it says order now, and make sure you order your t-shirt, okay? Makes sense? I don't know, I saw that somewhere and I'm like, oh, I read it, it was in a message or something, so. Hey, has anybody figured out how, Shelley, you and I were talking about this on Friday or Thursday, whenever. Anybody figured out how to print out like the leader blast or the consultant blast?
I tried and it's a really long document.
Oh, is it like long and narrow, you mean, or?
Yeah, so it's not going to fit on one sheet.
Ugh. I missed that. Did anybody else miss like the added? I don't
Mhm.
know. I like to be able to print it out and look at it for some, like on my phone, it's so little and on my, I don't know. Well, maybe we can request that. So, okay. Did anybody see there's a Vista sale? So 30% off today until Wednesday, Vista Print. If you need a new banner, you need business cards, everything on the website is 30% off. Think of your new team members or your existing team members. I still sometimes see like, I don't know why I'm goofy about this, but like the old table runners at events. And I'm like, oh my gosh, wait for a sale. Get one of those new, you know, table runners. So anyway, just wanted to remind you about that. Summer of Social, I know we talked about that a little bit last week. Did anybody watch the one today? Raise your hand if you've watched any of them. Yeah, I just watched part of it. Okay, well, it's been a busy summer, I guess. But today's was on Pinterest. And it sounded really interesting. So if you get a chance, maybe even when you're driving to work or, you know, you can always listen to it again. But Julie Kavanaugh was on a call today at 12:30. If you were gold or above, you would have been on that or you got the recording. Anyway, she talked about today's Summer of Social. It's on Pinterest. And she goes, that's really a valuable place for us to land as a consultant. So it sounds like a really good one to listen to. Okay, Party Palooza. I think, I could be wrong, but I think all of you here are either going in person or signed up for virtual. Did you all get your email today, or did you get a chance to see that Tastefully Simple sent you an email? Okay, so Elaine, they sent you an email, and I mean, I know there's anything, you know, dress code and all that kind of stuff. So please check that out. If you didn't get an email, go to Tastefully Simple and do the live chat and let them know that, okay? Just because it's nice to have. Any questions on Party Palooza?
In that message today, they put a link to the hotel, and if you're the person who reserved the room, you need to add your other people beforehand. They won't do it on site. You have to email someone at the Marriott, but it was in the email today, so make sure you do that.
Good reminder. It's easy to do, I know. And if you have, here's what I always do ever since the beginning of time is get your confirmation number and call and confirm. There was one time Scarlett and I had a room and they didn't have it, and it was kind of a bear cat. So anyway, I called today, make sure you're, you know, confirmed and make sure you have the room rate that, you know, Tastefully Simple offers. So it's just a quick phone call, right? And kind of can relieve a headache. So you have a room contact or whatever, I would recommend doing that. Thursday night, which is July 27th. Again, I can't believe it's July 27th, is the 6:30 Fall Winter Line premiere. It's on the Independent Consultant Facebook page. Obviously, if you're doing a party or you have another commitment, you can watch the recording. But they will share a couple products going out. One price increase, one price decrease, and I'm sure a couple other things. So definitely worth tuning into. So check, and that's open to everybody. That's not just Party Palooza participants, that's everybody. So just a reminder on that. All right. Any other announcements I perhaps have forgotten that you can think of? Nothing? All right. Well, then let's jump into recognition year / Bravo Bucks. That's really what we're going to focus on a little bit. I mean, I will remind you, Shining in Leadership recognition year with Tastefully Simple is July 1st through June 30th. You know, Shining in Leadership, is that a goal for anybody? Gosh, Lisa and I are the only ones. So Shining in Leadership is 24,000 in sales. Check done for all of you girls on here, just about. 10 new consultants. You can do it if you're focused on it. And then 2 promotions. And some of you probably have already had that. And you know what? The first time you get it, Rebecca, do you know what you earn? Besides walking across stage and all that stuff, do you know what you earn?
Bonus, like $1,000 bonus, or is it 2,000?
It's a $1,000 bonus the first time you earn it. And then when you continue to do it, you get a $500 bonus. So it's doable, you guys. It's really doable. So Shining in Leadership started July 1st. Otherwise, let's talk Bravo Bucks. And you know, you can find the flyer that doesn't have confidential across it in TS Central. And just type in Bravo Bucks. And then did you guys see there's a tracking sheet? And I know I did share some tracking sheets that some consultants put together. That's easily printed out. So I like that tracking sheet. We know it's based on sales, on sponsoring, and then there's the bonus bucks. But you know what? I think we need to step back a little bit and think about what do you want from your Tastefully Simple business? What's your why? And then what's holding you back from achieving that, right? I mean, it's like the basic question. And what do you want? That maybe has changed from what it was, Sheila, when you first started, or Shelly, or Rebecca, or even Lisa. So I really invite you to ask yourself, what do you want? What's your why? And then what's holding you back? Does anybody want to share what you want this year in your Tastefully Simple business? Because you know what Jill always says, name it, claim it. Have you guys thought about that? Have you thought about what you want this year? Anybody want to share?
I'll share. I want a solid platinum team.
Yay! I love it. I love it. So what does that mean, Sheila?
That means that the team consistently has to have 20,000 or more per month. And we hit it some months, but then we don't hit it other months. So it's up and down from gold to platinum, back to gold.
Yeah, that's not very much fun.
So I want it to be solid where we're hitting it every month, which means we need obviously more team members.
Yes, I was going to ask you what your plan was. And that really is the best. And, you know, no matter what, you guys, in direct sales, and I've told many of you this, people do come and go. I mean, there's a lot of us on here that have been here a long time. And then we have some newer people, which is fantastic. But people come, people go, and that's just normal, right? That's just direct sales. So we do want to add new people. So have you figured out how you're going to do that, Sheila?
No.
Well, I know Kelly.
Ask for people, right?
Ask. I know Kelly Wenzel will be talking about it at Party Palooza. Kelly does sponsor a lot of people, and I'm sure other people will talk about it as well. And, you know, I'll just give you this, guys. This is a side note, just because we're not talking before Party Palooza, but Sue Rush always said, what's the #1 thing you want to get out of conference? You know what I mean? I want you to ask yourself that. What is the number one thing you want out of conference? Is it, how can I sponsor more? Is it, how can I book more parties? Is it, how can I build leaders? Is it, how can I be more consistent? We all have different whys, but like your number one thing. And then when you're talking to people, I know it's fun, you know, how many kids, what do you do? Blah, 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 all that, you know, small talk, which is great. But I'm there for business. So I want to find out some things. You know what I mean? That's called networking. So find out what you want to find out and ask, right? Maybe you'll find some like-minded people. Okay, so Sheila, thank you for sharing, is gonna get a solid platinum team. Who else wants to share? Big or small? Yes, Shelley.
I'd like, excuse me, solid gold team and maybe jump into platinum.
Yay! Solid gold. So gold again is 10,000 a month, right?
Mhm.
And you usually hit your personal sales of the 2,000.
Yeah, that means, yep.
Yep. Okay. Well, I can see it happening, Shelley. Yeah, that's great. And do
I
you have
got
a
a
plan?
rocking team.
Do you have a plan for that?
Let's talk after conference.
Okay. We will be, by the way. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. So Shelley said solid gold and she's gonna strive or go for platinum. You can do it, Shelley. Anybody else want to share? What do you want this recognition year? Big or small? It doesn't have to be platinum, although that's fun. Hello, Lisa. Thank you for joining us, Lisa Miller, with San Francisco in the background. Nobody else wants to share? Okay, well, I don't want to put you on the spot. I know it's Monday night and I didn't warn you or ask you to bring that to the table, but I would really encourage you to figure out what you want. And then, like I said, your number one question, your burning question. I know it, you know, for some of you, it's a lot to get away. I mean, I remember the days, I think of you, Rebecca, all your kids and, you know, just to organize to get away. But if you really can think about what you want to get out of this conference, Rebecca's like, it's no big deal. What are you thinking, Rebecca? I can't read your mind.
Peace out. See you later. I don't even
They,
go on that conference.
they'll be just fine.
They're fine. They've got food and water.
I love it. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's a lot to get away for whatever reason. And I just invite you to have a blast, but also to think of what you would like in this recognition year. And if you're not going to conference, still think about it. And I'd be happy to work with you on that or your sponsor. So any questions on anything? Well, next week we have it off. Angie is going to do some training in August on Facebook parties. I asked Julie Cabanow today, and I know she's busy, but I'll nail her down after conference. Would you guys be interested if she did a training on Pinterest? Because she's the one that talked about that today on that call. So I will ask her to do some training on that. If you have any other ideas that you would like to see, let me know. How about Kim Pont? Wouldn't she be fun to talk about sales? Even if we all did half of what she does or a quarter of what she does, would you guys be interested in that? Okay. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to let you go. I'm sure you have tons of things to do. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to stop the recording.